Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Just goofing off a little bit in C major. Of course, this is the key that we're learning this week. I am very, very sorry about yesterday. It looks like mobile hotspot at the office is not the way to go for live streaming. But here I am on my comfy couch. Got some coffee, getting ready to talk about building chords, and we can go ahead and move forward with the lesson that we were supposed to do yesterday. Sorry again for the connection issues. It happens. I will get better at this live streaming thing. But this is only episode 3, so kinks to work out, right? So today we're going to be talking about building chords. I'm going to give people a chance to kind of trickle in here. We're going to go through building all of our chords in C major. I'm going to show you a couple really nifty tricks and rules. And actually, let me go ahead and get this thing off the screen. I'm going to show you a couple neat tricks to be able to build any of these chords. We're going to stick around first position today, and then I'm going to show you the 5 voicings that you can use for any given chord. Yes, this is going to allude to the caged system. However, I am changing a couple things about the way caged is presented so that we can do it in notation a little bit easier. Good morning, Roy. Good morning. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. All right, everybody, so let's get started with building chords. Again, I'm hoping that everybody has gotten a chance to watch my 1-hour-long music theory video that explains, what scales are, what chords are, all of that type of stuff. This is really specifically how we're going to apply it to the guitar. However, I'm happy to run through real quick just how to make a chord mentally, and then we're going to start building these on the guitar. And I'm going to show you a really, 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 really neat trick on the fretboard that works to build chords all over the place. But first off, all these print-offs are going to be available to my dojo members. I want you to join the Fretboard Dojo. We'll be meeting here every morning at 8 a.m. or every weekday morning at 8 a.m. You can give me anywhere between $2 and $25 a month to get access to the PDFs. All subscription levels get full access. Okay, so without further ado, chords are built by taking 3 notes out of any given scale, whatever scale you're working in. We're working out of C major here for a little while until we really master the key. You take it from the root, and you get every other note from the root. So let's say we want to build a C chord in C major. Well, we have C. We would skip over D and grab E, skip over F and grab G. So C, E, G makes a C major chord. So let me go ahead and pull up the sheet music here and show you what this looks like. So if I wanted a C chord, we'd have C, E, and G. And you can see here how they stack up very nice. That's called stacking in thirds, and that would sound like this on your guitar. C, E, G. Now that is called our 1 chord because C is the first note in the C major scale. What if we did the same thing based off of D? We would get D, F, A. D, F, A. And that would be our 2 chord because D is the 2nd scale degree, or the 2nd note in our scale. Let's keep moving forward. Next, we would have E, G, B if we're taking all those scale degrees and moving up, right? So E, G, B. That's our 3 chord. Happens to be E minor. And I'm going to have a PDF up on the screen here in a minute that points this out in a way that includes text. But I just wanted to build these so you guys could see how it's done. Next, we're going from the 4th scale degree. This is F major, our 4 chord. keep moving, G, B, D, oops. G, B, D, our G major chord. Let's keep moving. A, C, E, our sixth, the A minor chord. Right, so A, C, E, and finally our seventh chord, B, D, oopsies, B, D, F. So the B, D, F is our B diminished chord. We're going to talk about diminished chords maybe in this lesson. It's probably going to be more towards tomorrow that we really deal with the diminished chord. So that's how you build your chords. Now, there's a really straightforward type of pattern that you can use to build any chord. First off, we know that we're stacking these in what are called thirds, right? So C to E is a third, E to G is a third. We're not going to talk major and minor yet. That's going to come up here in just a minute, but just it's 3, 3. And then from that last third to get back up to your root, that's the interval of a fourth, okay? And then that pattern just repeats. So it goes 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, right? All the way up. Now, that's going to introduce an interesting problem with the guitar. That's pretty obvious, but I'm just showing you the pattern. It can go all the way up to there, right? And that's just 3, 3, 4. Now, if we wanted to hit one of these notes all after the other, we'd have C, that's a 3, right? So C to E is a 3, and then E to G, that's another 3. And then we get a 4, right? And then a 3, and then another 3, and then another 4. And then we get another 3, and we get another 3. Right, so that brings us all the way up. The arpeggio. We can arpeggiate any chord. So you just have to remember 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4. Now, last live stream, the day before yesterday, we went through all these intervals, and somebody asked, hey, what does this have to do with actual practical songwriting? Well, the intervals are what build your chords. And if you can memorize all the shapes of the threes on the fretboard and the shape of the four, which is, it's not too hard to memorize those, then you can build essentially any chord that you want on the fly just by knowing 3, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4. Now, I'm talking triads here. We're not covering seventh chords or anything like that quite yet. So let's take a look at the PDF, which gives us our voicings. And I'm going to show you the chords and their major and minor and Roman numerals and all of that right here on the screen. And we end up with a couple different kinds of voicings. I'm going to explain those in a moment. There's 5 big ones that we use on the guitar to spell our chords, okay? Now, generally, this is referred to as the caged system. I don't really want to use the caged acronym because it doesn't make, to me, it adds a little bit too much in terms of complication. So I call them voicing 1 through 5. But first off, let's just go through our chords. So C major, if we went on to all ring at once, we have C, E, G, C, E. Now, one of the issues that we saw with this last arpeggio that I showed you that went all the way up the neck is that we can't get all those notes to ring, right? So the final, G up top, if we were to complete the 3 notes up there and have a stacking of 3s, that G up top would have to be played on the same string as the open E. So we have to pick and choose which ones we play together on the guitar because of the physical limitations of the instrument. Now, that's okay. That's what gives us the 5 voicings, really. So these are voicings where you can get the notes to ring together. So we have C major for the first chord in our key. Then D minor is our 2 chord. E minor is our 3 chord. Scroll over. Our 4 chord is F major. Our 5 chord is G major. Our 6 chord is A minor. And of course, our 7 chord is a B diminished chord. Now, this voicing, there's one note that we really can't hit. So that F, I'm going to replace with an open D just to get them all ringing. But you would really need your 3rd finger here, then, so you don't have enough fingers to really play that chord. But we're going to talk about diminished chords tomorrow because those are kind of a special case. Okay, so let's move along here and talk about how we end up with the voicings. And the 5 that we have, these 5, if you know these 5 voicings, you can move pretty much anywhere on the neck and be able to sight read chords. And that was one thing that a lot of folks asked me about recently was how do I go through sight reading chords? I mean, these things are really, really hard to just be able to read. This is how you do it. You know the voicings, and then you drill them. And of course, this being my morning Fretboard Dojo live stream, we're going to do a lot of drilling today. So stay tuned for that. Let's talk about the voicings, okay? So I designed this to look exactly like the caged system. And in fact, I'm showing you that right now I'm renaming the caged nomenclature as voicing 1 through 5. So traditionally, caged refers to you have a C-shaped chord and an A-shaped chord and then a G-shaped chord, right? And then an E-shaped chord and then a D-shaped chord. And then those can be moved up and down the neck. Now, that's all well and fine if you know you're kind of strumming through and you're creating songs. But I wanted to design this course or these morning exercises that we're going to be doing. I wanted to design them so that you could read music and keep voicing and voice leading in mind as you're playing, because personally that's what I'm into. So I had to change it to voicing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we'll be able to move these voicings up and down the neck. But today I just want to get them in first position. All right, everyone, first position is key. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them down in the chat if I'm moving too fast here. So voicing 1, if you look at the intervals inside of voicing 1, C to E, that bottom C to that next E is a third. Then E to G is a third. And then C to E is a third from there. Right? So we have 3, 3, and then E to C, or G up to C is a 4 and a 3. So voicing 1 is 3, 3, 4, 3. Those are the intervals. Now that's a voicing that we will be able to move up here. So say again, as we go through this, 3, 3, 4, 3. If you're not sure what intervals are, I have that hour-long music theory video on my channel page, which is a great resource for everyone. So that's our voicing 1, traditionally called the C shape. Voicing 2. Now I'm using A minor to show this voicing. This is traditionally called the A shape. However, we're going to break it down into intervals. So we have 5, 4, 3, 3. So that A to E is a 5. That E to A is a 4. And then we have 3, 3. So as you can tell, with these chords, there's a lot of 5s and 3s and 4s. And in fact, all of it's 5, 3s, and 4s, except in the next voicing we have 1 that's the only voicing that has anything different than a 5, 4, or 3. So knowing your 5, 4s, and 3s, very, very, very good idea, guys. So one more time through voicing 2, we have 5, 4, 3, 3. Okay. We're going to have time to drill these, guys. So if you don't have it exactly memorized yet, that's quite all right. I accidentally put voicing 1 at the end there. That's just a fat finger mistake. So here are voicing 3, 4, and 5. These voicings, starting with voicing 3, this is traditionally called the G shape. We have a 3, 3, 4, 3, and then a 6. So Drummer in the Park asks, are the numbers the strings I'm referring to? No, the numbers are the intervals within the chord. So real quick, Mr. Drummer in the Park, G to B is a third, right? So in the scale, if we think G, A, B, G is 1, A is 2, B is 3. So G up to B is a third, the interval of a third. And then B up to D is another interval of a third. So B, C, D. So we have 3, 3. And then D up to G is a fourth, right? So D, E, F, G, 4. And then G up to B again is a third. And then we have a 6 from B to D. So B, C, D, E, F, G. So 6. So those are, I'm referring more to the intervals there. The string numbers, I won't generally refer to those as numbers. I'll refer to them as E string, A string, etc., etc. I'm not the biggest fan of referring to them as string numbers. Okay, so voicing 3 is 3, 3, 4, 3, 6. And guys, by the way, we're going to be drilling intervals. I'm just laying the foundation the first few days, the first week of these live streams. Next week, it's going to be more drilling. We're going to find the notes, we're going to find the intervals, we're going to build chords, and we're actually going to write songs and take a look at some songs too to see how other people use these things to build. So next, let's take a look at voicing 4, which is traditionally called the E shape. Okay, and here what we have is a 5, 4, 3, 3, 4. So E up to B is a 5, then B up to E is a 4, then E up to G, third, G to B is a third, and B up to E is a fourth. Next, we're taking a look at voicing 5, which is traditionally called our D shape. So we have D to A is a fifth, right? Pinky here, third fret of the B, A to D is a fourth, and then D up to the first fret of the B is your third, right? So let me show you how to play each one of these on the guitar, now that we've looked at the intervals, and then we're going to quiz them. So C shape, you get your C, third fret of the A, E, second fret of the D, open G, first fret of the B, and open high E for that high E. Your A, open A, second fret of the D for E, second fret of the G for C, first fret of the B for, second fret of the G for A, first fret of the B for C, open high E for E. And then G, third fret of the E, second fret of the A, open D, open G, open B, third fret of the high E. Okay. E, open low E, second of the A, second of the D, open G, open B, open high E. Then last, open D, second of the G for your A, third of the B for D, and index, first fret of the high E for that F. So that's how you play the chords. We are not going to leave first position today. So this is a lot of information, and being able to read these chords is a matter of repetition. So for the rest of the lesson today, what I would like to do with you guys is quiz these. So please use the chat below. Going through these, each and every one of these multiple times is really, really very important. You will be able to read these, play these, and know the notes inside of the chords much easier, much, much easier. All right, so I've got my quiz here up on the screen. And I don't like to see the playback line. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so this first chord here, I'm just going to highlight the one in blue that we're going to be quizzing. I want you guys to take a quick look at it. Tell me, A, what chord is it? B, what's the Roman numeral? And C, what's the voicing number? And again, so this PDF, my dojo members can go download this. We have the voicing numbers and the Roman numerals here. So I'll be pulling this up to help you guys reference it. Okay? As we go through the answers. But first, I'm going to give you guys roughly 10 seconds or so to check out this chord that's highlighted blue. Tell me, what chord is it? What's the Roman numeral? And what's the voicing number? Type that in the chat below if you can. Coffee, coffee. All right, guys. What do you think? This is G major. Roman numeral 5, shape 3. So remember, shape 3 is 3, 3, 4, 3, 6. Shape 3. G major, the 5th chord in the key of C. Let's move forward. What about this one? Good job, drummer in the park, you got it. But I need to know what's the Roman numeral as well as what's the voicing number. And I'll be putting up the cheat sheet PDFs in the membership area of my site for anybody that's a dojo member currently watching. Okay, so what we have here, A minor. This is shape 2, the 6th scale in our key, or 6th chord in our key. A to E is a 5, E to A is a 4th, A to C is a 3rd, and C to E is a 3rd. So we have 5, 4, 3, 3. So when you're practicing these with me, make sure to hit the string so that you do actually hit the interval. So that play the A and the E, those notes. 5. Say the interval 5, and then we have 4, 3, 3. Also, real quick, let me, I forgot to do this earlier in the lecture. So I'm actually going to, before we move on to this next one, I want to show you something that works really well. So if you're building a major chord, so let's say, for example, G major, the 3s are going to start on major, but then alternate. So it goes major 3rd, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, major 3rd, minor 3rd, perfect 4th. Right? And if you're building a minor chord, for example, you're going to alternate between minor and major 3rds again, but this time start on minor. So we get minor 3rd, major 3rd, then perfect 4th, minor 3rd, major 3rd. So that's just an FYI. We're going to drill our intervals much more as this series goes, but let's focus on these chords for now. All right. So next is C major. This is shape 1, 3, 3, 4, 3. Shape 1, that's our 1 chord. What's this next one? What is the chord name, Roman numeral, and voicing number? We have D, our 2 chord, and this is voicing 5, which starts from the bass, 5th, 4th, 3rd. 5th, 4th, 3rd. Really pay attention to the shapes of those intervals. 5th, 4th, and more specifically, minor 3rd. Alright, we're going to skip this next one because that's the chord that we're talking about tomorrow. What do we have here? What chord is this? What's the Roman numeral? And what is the voicing number? Again, if you're just tuning in now, I rewind. We have our voicing numbers here. And I go through those at the beginning of the lecture. Okay. We have our E minor chord. This is the 4th voicing, which goes 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 4th. 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 4th. E minor, voicing 4. Oh, no worries, Harris. You join in anytime you like. I would recommend going to the beginning of this lecture, though, because there's quite a bit of information shared at the beginning of the lecture that makes it important for the rest of it. Okay, guys, what's this next one? This is where the repetition comes in. What chord is this? Give me the Roman numeral and the voicing number. The voicing numbers will become more apparent as we start to move up the fretboard. I'll give you guys just a few moments. All right, this is C major. This is voicing 1, 3, 3, 4, 3. Voicing number 1, 3, 3, 4, 3. C to E is a 3, E to G is a 3, G up to C is a 4, and C to E another 3. And it is, of course, our 1 chord. This chord is next. What do we have here, guys? I'll give you guys a few moments. I'd like you to tell me what the chord is named, what Roman numeral it is in the key of C major, and what voicing number this is. If you're just tuning in, keep in mind the voicing numbers. I described those at the beginning of the lecture. Couple more moments. This is D minor, voicing 5, which goes 5, 4, 3. 5, 4, 3. D minor, our 2 chord. All right, what do we have here, guys? Again, there's a lot of repetition here. If you guys stick through to the end of the lecture, you're really going to know these chords. What chord do we have here? Highlighted in blue. What voicing number is it? 1 through 5. And what Roman numeral is it? Just a few more moments for you guys to figure this out. Again, I'm going to have some materials uploaded today for my dojo members. You can check out a link to the memberships below, where you can print off the cheat sheets and go through the roughly 400 questions I have outlined for you. All right, this is E minor, our 3rd chord of the key, C major, 3rd chord, and the voicing goes 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 4th, which means it is voicing number 4. Voicing number 4, everybody. 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 4th. Okay. Now, this next chord, our F major. I'm not going to quiz it because I want to point out why these voicings are important. You'll notice that this voicing is the same voicing as the E minor. That shape is just moved up. And this note here is the bass that moves the rest of it. So it all moves kind of in concert. But this is still voicing 4, and what we get is a 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 4th. Now this is a major chord as opposed to the minor chord. So as I told you at the beginning of the lecture, if we're doing a major chord, we start our 3rd from the root as major, and the next 3rd that we take is going to be minor. So we have 5th, 4th, major 3rd, minor 3rd, 4th. Now with this one, it's 5th, 4th, minor 3rd, major 3rd, 4th. So the 3rds get swapped around in terms of major and minor. However, the voicing remains the same. So we have 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd, 4th for voicing 4. And I think I'm also going to be uploading some flashcards to the dojo, which you can have on the screen, where you can memorize the intervallic structure of the shapes. And I would really, really recommend that, just to be able to belt it out. All right. Next, what do we have here? What is the chord name? What is the voicing number? And what Roman numeral is it in the key of C? I'll give you guys a few moments to noodle this one out. This is really going to help those of you looking to really improve your sight reading. Also, if you guys have been attending every day, go ahead and give me a shout out in the chat there. Let me know how many folks are planning on attending these regularly, because I'm going to have lots of questions on the screen. You show up with your guitar and answer them as best you can. This time next year, you're going to be a monster. Okay, guys, we have G major, and this is voicing number 3, which gets us 3, 3, 4, 3, 6. G major, the third chord, or sorry, the 5th chord in our key. 5th chord in our key, G major. Okay, let's take a look at the next one, guys. What do we have highlighted in blue? Remember, if you guys want print-off quizzes so that you can hang out somewhere in your free time and fill out the chord numbers and voicings and all of that, join the dojo and you can print these off. Drummer in the Park asks, which lesson of yours is based upon this lesson? Is it intervals? Yes, intervals help with this quite a bit. I would watch it. Drummer in the Park, have you seen my music theory video, the animated hour-long one? I also have a book called Music Theory in One Lesson. You can get that on Amazon, that the video is based off of. Okay, guys, this one is A minor. Okay, this is shape 2, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd. 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd. All right, this is the 6th of the key, 6th chord, A minor. Voicing number 2. All right, we're going to skip that B chord for now. We're going to start with that tomorrow. What chord do we have here? What Roman numeral is it? What is the voicing? What do we call yon chord? This one is G major, the 5th chord of our key. Voicing number 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 6. Just go ahead. Each time I belt out an answer on these, you guys should take out your guitar and 3, 3, 4, 3, 6. And more importantly, you should do major 3rd, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, major 3rd, 6th. Okay, guys. There's a minor 6th there, by the way. What is this next one? Again, this is all about repetition. This is the 15th chord that we've done today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. Tomorrow we're going to go through both intervals, notes, and also we're going to add in more chords on there, and we're going to talk about the 7th chord. Again, you can download this in the members area of my website. We have A minor. This is chord voicing 2, which is 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd. So 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd. What do we have next? We're going to skip all the B chords for now. So Drummer in the Park asks, oh yes, you should scour my channel for sure. On the home page, you'll see a playlist that says Awesome Music Fundamentals for Fingerstyle Guitarists. Check out the hour-long music theory video there. Seriously, it's by far my most popular. It's coming up on 400,000 views or so. It helped a lot of people. Keep in mind, there's a couple of typos in there because that was my first animation I've ever done. So a couple boneheaded mistakes. I'm prone to boneheaded mistakes. Here we go. C major. We have 3, 3, 4, 3 for shape 1. This is the 1 chord in the key. Also, Drummer in the Park. I'm I'm going to go ahead and put a coupon code on my website for you. If you want to order Music Theory in One Lesson, my book, I'll knock $10 off of it. Just type in Drummer in the Park, all one word, the coupon, all lowercase. And that's at musicandguitarlessons.shop. Anybody is welcome to use that coupon code. If you guys are watching and you really want to check out that book, I'll knock $10 off the price. Okay, what chord do we have here? What Roman numeral is it? What voicing number do we have? We have D minor, voicing 5, which is 5, 4, 3. All right, guys, let's move on to the next chord. Remember, most of what I'm trying to do here with these morning live streams, it's part lesson, but it's part drilling this stuff. So you guys take a look at what you need to be able to understand this stuff. I gave you a quick run through at the beginning of the stream, but really what I want is people to show up here in the mornings and we're all going to drill it and just get better at it. Part of it is understanding it. The other part of it is instantly knowing it. So what chord do we have here? What is it in our key? And what's the voicing number? This is E minor, right? This is our fourth voice, fourth voicing. So we have fifth, fourth, third, third, fourth. So E to B is a fifth, B up to E is a fourth, E to G is a third, G to B is a third, and then B up to E is another fourth. Okay, let's move on to the next chord. Of course, E minor, that's the third chord. What do we have here? What chord is this? What voicing number is it? And what are the intervals in there? I'll give you guys a couple more moments to noodle this one out. Remember, these are all first position C major chords that we're drilling this morning. All first position C major chords. Hear ye, whoever wants to be able to improvise and sight read like a magician, you should go through these exercises with me every morning, every weekday morning, 8 to 9 a.m. All right, we have C major. This is our voicing number 1, which is third, 2 thirds, a fourth, and a third. So C to E is a third, E to G is a third, G up to C is a fourth, and C to E is a third. Voicing 1, and this is the 1 chord, of course, in C major. What do we have next here, guys? What is the chord? What is the Roman numeral? And what is the voicing number? And when you play it to yourself, I want you to say the intervals out loud. I'll give you guys a couple more moments. Of course, Fretboard Dojo members will be able to download the extra material for this. All right, we have G major. This is the 5 chord in our key. So we have G to B is a third, B to D is a third, D up to G is a fourth, we have third, and then a 6th up top. This is our third voicing. Voicing number 3. Now, why are voicings so important, right? Well, you're going to be able to move this shape up here, right? You're going to be able to use those intervals up there and be able to use these chords pretty much anywhere on your guitar neck. Okay, so let's move along here. We're going to do probably about 5 more chords, guys. And then tomorrow, I'm going to explain the 7th chord, the diminished chords. And hopefully for about a week or a week and a half, we're going to drill this stuff up and down the fretboard. We're going to start using the voicings of the chords up in 5th position and 7th position starting next week as well. Okay, guys, this is our A minor chord using voicing number 2. We have 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd. 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd. 5th, 4th, 3rd, 3rd. Second voicing, 6th chord of the key. What chord do we have here, guys? F major, fourth chord, voicing number 4. We have fifth, fourth, third, fourth. 3 more chords for us today. All right, what chord do we have here? What Roman numeral is it in C major? And outside of what Roman numeral is it in C major? What voicing number is this? If you're just tuning in now, I talked about the voicing numbers at the beginning of the lecture. This is C major, first voicing, third, fourth, third. C major. That's the first chord of our key. All right, guys. What chord do we have here? What is the voicing number? And what Roman numeral is it in our key? Okay, we have D minor, second chord of our key, voicing number 5, which gives us fifth, fourth, third. Fifth, fourth, third. All right, last one, guys. The PDF here has literally hundreds of these lined up for you to sit down and sight read. If you sight read through all of these chords, I swear you will know your notes in first position in C major. You'll be able to read through these chords like a breeze, especially if you really try to recognize the intervallic structure of these, because as we move up the neck, that's going to make things a lot easier. One of the hairiest things about learning guitar is reading music fluently up the neck. A lot of people struggle with it. I have struggled with it, and this is how I fixed it. All right, guys, we have E minor, third chord of our C major key, and this is our fourth voicing, which gives us 5, 4, 3, 3, 4. E to B is a fifth, right? B up to E is a fourth, E to G is a third, G to B is a third, and B up to E is a fourth. Okay, guys, good job today. I had to end the stream just a little bit early because I have roughly 7 hours of teaching today. Lots of students coming in, which means I'm going to have my wits about me, which means I need to go make some coffee and get to the office. I'm going to be doing these from home now on, so you'll get used to seeing this couch here. We're all going to get together 8 a.m. Mountain Time to 9 a.m. Mountain Time and work on our musicianship. So that's going to include drilling keys, doing sight reading exercises, clapping rhythms. We're going to be spelling chords, and yes, we're going to be writing music live. But in order to write music, you have to know your fundamentals. So these are going to be fundamentals that we go through every day, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Of course, you can join the Fretboard Dojo to download the PDFs that I create out of this and go through the quizzes, as well as ask me questions in my private Facebook group. I'm going to also be probably doing Google Hangouts with Facebook members coming up here soon to incentivize it a little bit more. But keep the hope. You guys are getting better at guitar. We're all going to get better at guitar through this. We're all going to get better at writing music. We're all going to get better at sight reading. And most importantly, we're all going to feel more confident in our ability to get through this. So if you guys have any questions, leave them in the chat. I'm going to give you guys a few moments to type to me, and I'm going to give you some answers. I don't always have time to respond to the comments that are left on the video, so I'm going to be taking, roughly 5 to 10 minutes at the end of every video to take questions. If I don't get a question within, let's say, 1 minute, then I'm going to head out. These live streams are new. There are 7 people watching right now, so not a lot of people watching yet. So I'll assume there are no questions if I don't get one within about a minute. Drummer in the Park asks, what's the fretboard dojo I'm talking about? So the fretboard dojo is something I created on a website. It's musicandguitarlessons.com. It's kind of like my own personal Patreon, where if you want to give me anywhere between $2 and $25 a month, you can go in there and download the PDFs, so that you can go through these quizzes and really get to know this material, as well as ask me questions in a Facebook group. Really, the Fretboard Dojo are these live streams where we show up and I start putting musical stuff on the screen, and you have your guitar out and you try your best to follow along. The idea is that every day we show up 8 to 9 a.m. when we work on our fretboard knowledge, we work on our sight reading, we work on all kinds of things, ear training. We will all get better together. It's more or less a community that I'm leading to make more people embrace music theory on the guitar, embrace ear training on guitar, and embrace their musicianship. So that's the Fretboard Dojo in a nutshell. And of course, you can check the link below if you want to see all the membership levels. All right, guys. Well, that looks like all the questions are answered. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a big old review. I'm going to talk about one new subject, and then we're going to do a big review from the last few live streams. There's going to be roughly 5 hours of material every week added to this. So I think it would be pertinent to take some time to review, maybe even a couple live streams to review, to really get to know the fretboard. And we're going to be moving these voicings around so that if we're playing in C major, you're a monster. In a couple weeks, we're probably going to move on to A minor and G major and stuff like that. But first off, let's stick with C major for a little while till we can all master it. All right, guys, have an awesome day. I'm going to put up that coupon code for the book in case you want to grab that, Drummer in the Park. No worries if not. Anybody can use that coupon code. Godspeed, everybody, and good luck with practice today.